You walk into a job interview, and within minutes you realize something terrifying. This isn't an interview. It's a trap. 8 candidates sit in a silent room. 8 desks, 8 pencils, 8 sheets of paper. No phones, no bags, no talking. Just a cold invigilator watching you like a machine. Then he speaks, calm, emotionless. You have 80 minutes to answer one question. Simple, right? Except when you look down, your paper is blank, no question, no instructions, nothing. And the clock is ticking. Before leaving, the invigilator lays down strict rules. You cannot talk to him. You cannot leave the room. You cannot damage your paper. Break a rule, and you're disqualified. Then he asks one last thing, like it means nothing. Any questions? And he walks out. The door closes, the timer starts, and the room changes. Because now it's just you and 7 strangers staring at a blank page. And everyone is thinking the same thing. How do you answer a question you can't even see? So people start guessing, testing, hoping it's invisible ink. They hold the page up to the light, rub it gently, tilt it, squint. Like the answer will appear if they stare hard enough. Nothing. And then it happens. The first mistake. One candidate panics, breaks a rule. And just like that, they're out. No debate. No mercy. Just gone. That moment hits you in the chest because now you understand the truth. This room isn't testing intelligence, it's testing control. So you watch the group do what humans always do under pressure. They form sides. One person tries to lead. One stays quiet and observes. One becomes suspicious of everyone. And then there's one guy, loud, arrogant, and hungry for control, who starts labeling people instead of learning their names. Blonde, black, brown. Like turning people into categories makes it easier to treat them as disposable. And you can feel it. This isn't a test anymore. It's a social experiment. Because while everyone's obsessing over the blank paper, the real danger is sitting right there in the room. Other people. Now the desperate ideas start. Someone thinks heat might reveal ink. Someone thinks the lighting angle matters. Someone tries anything they can. Anything. But the paper stays blank. And every minute that passes makes people sharper, meaner, more afraid. Then you notice something. The rules aren't just rules. They're bait. They're designed to make you panic, to make you slip, to make you eliminate yourself. And the worst part, it's working. Because that loud guy, he starts using fear like a weapon. He pressures people into mistakes, pushes them emotionally, turns the room into a battlefield without ever throwing a punch. And the room gets darker. Not because the lights change, but because people do. You start hearing whispers, little clues. This company isn't normal. This job isn't normal. It's connected to something massive, something that affects real lives. And whoever gets hired won't just get a paycheck, they'll get power. And power does something scary to people. It makes them show who they really are. Tension spikes, accusations start flying. You know more than you're saying. You're hiding something. You're working for them. And under that pressure, people begin to reveal their real nature, not their resume, not their qualifications, their fear, their ego, their cruelty, their desperation. One candidate tries to stay calm, tries to keep it human, but the loud guy keeps tightening the room like a noose because he's convinced of one thing. There is no question. The exam is survival, and he believes the company will hire the last person standing. Minutes drop. The room becomes chaos, not because the paper changed, but because people did. And as the timer gets close to the end, something shifts. Because desperation makes people careless, and careless people break rules. One by one, candidates get disqualified, not because they're stupid, but because pressure cracks them. Finally, the clock reaches the last moments, and the loud guy, the one controlling everything, thinks he's won. He thinks he outsmarted the system. So when the invigilator returns, he does the one thing they were warned never to do. He speaks, confident, smug, certain, like, I figured it out. Now only one candidate is left in the best position to win, and she remembers something small, something everyone ignored. She remembers the quiet candidate, the one who barely spoke, paying attention to tiny details, tiny angles, tiny reflections. So she looks again, carefully, and finally, she sees it, on the paper, in a corner. 2 words. Question 1. That's it. No long exam paper, no printed problem, just question 1. And in that moment, everything clicks. The entire test, the blank page, the 80 minutes. It was never about a written question. It was about the first question. The question the invigilator asked at the start. Any questions? That was the exam. And the correct answer is no. Then the final twist lands. The quiet candidate everyone underestimated. He was the one behind it all. The real boss. The one watching how people behave under pressure. Because this company doesn't want the loudest person, or the cruelest person, or the most confident person. They want someone who can stay calm, see what others miss, and still remain human, even when the room turns ugly. So here's the real question. If you were sitting in that room, blank paper, 80 minutes, rules designed to trip you, would you have noticed the answer hiding in plain sight? Or would you have done what most people do? Panic, turn on everyone, and lose yourself, chasing a question that was never written there at all?